Welcome to another edition of Talking Balls. On this week's show, there's this. I won't be happy until the humiliation is so severe that the kids are in tears. And there's this. And there's this.
What do you want me to do?
Cuddle. The massive story this week is the commotion around Paul Pogba's transfer to Manchester United, and more specifically the money made by his agent Mino Raiola. The figure reported is £41 million. It's a fair thing to ask, what does an agent do to ensure himself such a windfall and with it remove substantial sums of money from the game? As fans, it's much easier to think of transfers in the simple way of one club wanting another club's player. A bid is submitted, accepted, then the player chooses whether or not he wants to join. All of this is true, of course, but it gets much more interesting for an agent when multiple clubs want a player, like in the case of Paul Pogba. The agent might then speak to each club and say, if you want Paul Pogba, here's my fee, and which one of you are willing to meet it?
$100 billion.
Then he goes back to the player and convinces him which club is the best one for him, obviously being the club that has agreed to pay the agent's fee. What needs to be remembered here is that agents have massive influence over players. The players trust the agent to guide them right through their career, and players like Pogba are very wealthy, so why wouldn't they? A good question might be is why don't more players go on their own and can remove themselves from the influence of agents? But then who would protect the players' agents from football clubs? If a club can get away with paying less, they always will, which makes the role of agents necessary to protect the interest of the players, and with it ensure they don't get shafted. So the day has finally arrived. White Hart Lane, as we know it, will cease to be. I know you're all upset. The stadium is one of the last remaining great landmarks of football and will be razed to the ground and replaced with a great big new shiny stadium. I mean, I'm fine. Honestly, I'm clearly fine with it all. It's not like watching your family home being bulldozed in front of you, bricks and timber crashing down everywhere, and with it every positive memory you've ever made there being demolished. But, you know, I'm really happy about it. You know, ultimately, you know, I see this as a sign of progress. Spurs are moving on to better things. We've got a bigger stadium than Arsenal. These are all, you know, positives that we can all hold on to. What am I going to do, James? What are we all going to do?
You'll be all right.
Well, what are you going to do to help me?
What am I going to do?
Well, yeah,
What do you want me to do?
Cuddle.
You just had one.
What, there's a quota for the amount of cuddles I can have in a day, James, is that it? All you have to do is wrap your arms around me, just for a few seconds, just to help me get through this difficult time. Is that right? This week we'll see Chelsea win the Premier League for the 5th time since forming in 2003.
Good one!
It's an impressive feat. Abramovich arrived at Chelsea and pumped all of the money into financing a previously unimpressive football club. Why would I want to watch some of the best players in the league week in, week out, to consistently outperform Arsenal, to be able to sit there smugly while despite having their best season in decades to beat their rivals in Tottenham without even really trying, if we're being honest? Why would I want any of that? Why would I want to have a club that has a realistic chance of buying any player on the planet? Well, I'm not bitter. Nothing bitter. I'm not being bitter. What are you being bitter? Of all the amazing things on the internet, by far my favourite thing is when they pluck 100 children and make them play against 11 professional footballers. Inverness are due to do this on the 28th of May. The first 100 kids to buy the junior shirt at the football club will get the chance to play against the first 11 of Inverness. Your assumption might be that I'd be supporting the kids in this game, but that would be untrue. I fully back Inverness in this game and hope that they don't let up in an absolute drubbing against the children. I don't want them to let up at any team. I want to see the kids fall in with cramp. I want every goal celebrated like it was a cup final. I won't be happy until the humiliation is so severe that the kids are in tears, looking wearily to the stand in the hope that they will see the supportive faces of their parents. But if I had my way, I'd ban the parents from the game altogether. This ain't no Mills and Boon novel. This is real life, and football isn't a joke. Because the kids have to learn, James. They've got to learn that football is not a joke. It's blood and thunder on the football pitch. You can't just go running off to your parents, James, when you're getting beat, can you? It's not like when we went bowling that time, was it? It's embarrassing, mate.
Right, top comments time, Flav. And we've got to kick off with the 50k shirt. You're right, does it affect you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. 50k shirt giveaway, because most of the comments this week are people trying to check that out. We'll let you know how you can get involved in that 50k shirt giveaway. You win a shirt of your choice at the end of the show.
None of them said, good video, lads. Enjoyed that. Enjoyed the patter.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the banter.
Just trying to get what they want. And you've used different methods to try and get what you want. And you think that the comment that you make might make some kind of difference. We're going to pick it at random in a couple of weeks.
Well, hang on. What have they done?
One
Do
person,
what we want. It's our own giveaway.
+__. I want that shirt, slut.
Who's that?
That kind of, you will kind of like something like that.
Yeah,
right?
dude. That's the winner. You've won. You won the 50k giveaway?
No.
Right.
Still got time. Cypher754, give me that shirt or I'll write you all a very badly written and aggressive YouTube comment.
I mean, that's you'll never top the shit that we've had to read. Stop giving your... Who's this Specky Belen giving his opinion?
Yeah.
It's still the best comment I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, but then the grammar was right on that one.
We are a pair of Specky Belens, to be fair. That's true.
Here is one nice comment, Flav. I'll read out. You're from the Who's the Greatest Player Not to Win the Champions League, which is last week's Talking Balls.
Yeah.
Still available on YouTube.
Yep.
Oliver Weard. Congrats on 50k subs. Brilliant content that is more engaging than mainstream punditry. Keep going and hopefully the channel gets the recognition it deserves further down the line. Also, Flav, stop wearing hats. What do you say to that?
I'd say that... I mean, fuck off.
Another comment. Will Isaacs. Flav, stop wearing hats. You're 35.
What? What's the problem with me wearing hats? How many comments? More comments like this?
Don't worry. You've got Alex Caffrey's Gage. He's come back. He's got your back. Don't worry about it.
Go on.
He says, Will Isaacs, damn, I didn't know they had an age restriction. The old bloke next door to me wears a cap every day. I'd better tell him.
The old bloke.
Well, no, but he wears a hat and he's saying that. So he's got your back here.
Yeah, but
James Cody, which is someone else, not Will Isaacs, who made the first comment,
right,
says this: when you reach a certain age, the type of hat you wear must and will eventually become the flat cap. The trouble is, Flav is approaching that intermediate period where he develops into a new and grumpier form of hat aficionado and doesn't realise.
That is good work, absolutely good work. But I've been wearing flat caps for a long time. So
you wear flat caps as well. Yeah?
Where do I go from here? Tell that to Floyd Mayweather when he puts TMT on his hat. Right? Is he too old?
I don't know.
And look, just don't let the confines of society and what you should and shouldn't do control your life. You know, be free, be happy.
Yeah.
Wear a hat if you want. Don't wear a hat. Get naked. Do whatever you want to do. Don't let some guy on the internet say you're too old to that because you're not too old for it.
Anmol Kumar says, is Craig a real person or an imaginary Chelsea fan who Flav and James, brackets Flames, hate to love? Well, Craig is a real person, aren't you, Craig?
See? Craig has agreed after 100k that he will come on camera and talk about football with us.
Yeah.
We've got to get 100k.
And finally, head-to-head. We've been doing it for a couple of weeks now. Lots of head-to-heads coming through. You've got Lee Catamol versus Mark Noble. Didn't make it this week. Okay. Tony Pulis versus Sam Allardyce. Didn't make it this week. Okay. The one that we're going for, and so we want you to let us know in the comments below, out of this head-to-head, who is the better player? And it's Andrea Pirlo versus Xavi. Very, very difficult.
I would go with Pirlo here because out of the two, I'd much rather watch him. I'd much rather him be my big brother. He's cool as fuck.
Which is crucial when you're deciding which player's better.
Yeah, exactly. And look, ultimately, for me, my favourite players I've been watching Spurs have been the ones that are kind of poetry in motion. Berbatov, Bale, Ginola, and Christian Ziga.
But Xavi did it all. He was the metronome in the greatest team of all time.
Metronomes are dull.
They are dull, I get that. But the question is, who is the better player? I'm going for Xavi. He's going for Pirlo. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
It's 32 years since the Bradford fire. 56 people were killed. The stand caught fire from a single dropped cigarette. The blaze took just 5 minutes to engulf the entire stand. I've often gone on about how football has changed and about how insipid the game has become and how poor the atmosphere is in modern stadia. I've blamed Sky Sports for gentrifying the game. I've complained that money is killing football's soul. I've often gone on about romantic idealism of old school stadia and how these new aged bowls could never recreate the feeling I had when I was young. But football is safer now. People go to football to enjoy their team play and there isn't a second's thought that they may not make it back home after the game. Football needed to go through this process to ensure that there would be no more Bradford fires, no more Hillsboroughs, and no more Ibrox disasters. It's homage to those that passed that we now have a safer game.
As we said earlier in the video, we are giving away a shirt of your choice, a classic shirt of your choice. All you've got to do is click on this video right here, subscribe to Ball Street, and comment down below saying which shirt you would like to win, and you could win it.
Yeah, just like that. Just undo all your top. Have you got a t-shirt underneath?
No.
No, just undo all your top.
I haven't got a t-shirt.
I know, it's going to be funnier.
No.
You don't explain it, you just undo your top.
No, just take one sleeve off.
That'll look like we've just fucked.
Yeah, true.